Hey, I'm Molly and I'm from the Forest Bathing Society and Project Rewild Canada, and I'm here to answer your most asked questions about forest bathing. Today's question feels a little bit obvious, but I want to get into the nuance of it, so buckle up. If you've ever asked what the difference between forest bathing and hiking is, this is the video for you. Because at first glance, forest bathing and hiking might seem similar since both of them involve spending time in nature. However, the two activities differ significantly in pace, focus, and the way that participants interact with their environment. So let's explore the key differences between forest bathing and hiking. First big area we'll look at is the pace and physical exertion. We'll look at both forest bathing and hiking. So forest bathing, the pace is all about slow, and in terms of exertion, it's all about gentle. Forest bathing is a slow, intentional practice that involves minimal physical exertion. The focus is on moving at a leisurely pace or even staying stationary for extended periods of time, allowing participants to deeply engage with their surroundings. There's no set distance to cover, and the emphasis here is on relaxation and mindfulness rather than physical exercise. Hiking, on the other hand, is all about physical activity. Hiking is typically more physically demanding. It often involves going longer distances, maybe some elevation changes, and a much more brisk pace. Hikers may challenge themselves to complete specific trails or reach certain landmarks. I know this because I've been there. Well, hiking can also provide mental health benefits. The primary focus here is usually on the physical side, more like physical fitness, endurance, and covering ground, getting from point A to point B, right? So the question here becomes cardiovascular versus mindfulness. The benefits extend to both. Hiking tends to offer more cardiovascular benefits, improving stamina and strength through more vigorous activities. Forest bathing, on the other hand, emphasizes mental and emotional well-being. Well, the goal of reducing stress and promoting mindfulness is there for forest bathing. While both of them can enhance overall health, the physical intensity of hiking is much higher compared to the gentle pace of forest bathing. Second area we can look at here is focus and intention. So with forest bathing, the focus here is mindful presence. Forest bathing is all about mindfulness and sensory immersion. The practice encourages participants to fully engage with the present moment, focusing on the sights, the sounds, the smells, the textures, all of that in the forest. There's no destination or goal other than simply being with nature and allowing it to calm the mind and calm the body. Hiking, on the other hand, is destination oriented. Hiking often has a goal in mind, right? Whether it's reaching the top of a mountain, completing a trail, or getting to a specific viewpoint, or it's simply getting from point A to point B, the intention is typically centered around the physical journey and the satisfaction of completing that challenge. While hikers may appreciate their surroundings, there's no denying that. The focus is more on the movement and the accomplishment. So the question here becomes nature as a companion or nature as a goal. In forest bathing, nature itself is the focus of the experience. You're encouraged to connect deeply with the environment, noticing the small details and allowing nature to guide your thoughts. In hiking, nature is often the backdrop for a physical activity, with less emphasis on mindfulness and more on the journey or on the physical challenge. Another space you can look at the differences that's kind of interesting, in my opinion, is the interaction with the environment, the participants' interaction with the environment. So let's start with forest bathing. That interaction is all about sensory engagement. Forest bathing invites participants to engage all of their senses, from smelling the bark and touching the trees and smelling the forest after the air and touching the leaves and all of that, looking and listening for the subtle sounds of wind or wildlife, or feeling the coolness of a stream. I'm getting totally distracted. The aim here is to immerse yourself fully in the environment, often stopping to observe details like the texture of leaves or the pattern of light through the trees. Hiking, on the other hand, is all about moving through nature. In hiking, the interaction with the environment is often more, let's call it passive. While hikers may stop to take in a beautiful view or to appreciate a scenic moment, the primary goal is usually to keep moving and to complete the trail. There may be less time spent on deep sensory engagement compared to the deliberate slowness of forest bathing. And so with this, the question becomes active versus receptive relationships with nature. Forest bathing fosters a more receptive relationship with nature, where the participant simply observes, absorbs, and becomes their surroundings without needing to change or conquer the landscape. Hiking, on the other hand, is much more active. Participants interact with the terrain through physical effort, whether it's climbing hills or navigating rocky paths. And I come at this, my friends, as both a long-distance hiker and forest bathing guide. By understanding these key differences, it's clear that both forest bathing and hiking offer unique benefits, depending on what you're looking to achieve, in all honesty. Whether you want a mindful, relaxing connection with nature through forest bathing, or a more physically active and goal-oriented experience through hiking, both practices can help you experience the healing power of nature in their own unique ways. And if you want to try it out for yourself, I recommend you check out what we call your Rewild session. It's your very first dipping your toes experience into the world of forest bathing. What it is an audio meditation that you can pop on your headphones, head out to your favorite nature location, whether it's your backyard or your local park, or you want to find a forest. Heck yeah. Listen to the meditations, listen to the invitations, and we'll guide you through your very first forest bathing experience. Absolutely free. Check out the links down in the description, and I will see you in our next one. Until I do, remember I love you, and I'll see you in the forest.